Hello! Today I am doing a tag video for you. I was tagged by Jenny over at Jenny King, and this is her tag, actually, original tag, called A Soundtrack to My Life. And let's just hop right into it. First up is the opening credits, aka your favorite childhood book. And I've talked about this a few times on my channel. I adore The Little Prince. This is my German edition, but yeah, I adore this story, so definitely this one. Next is Waking Up, a book that got you out of a reading slump. I don't really get in reading slumps that often, I'll be honest. I kind of just read when I feel like it, and when I don't, I just don't. But I guess I'll go with the books that I was just reading, Warm Bodies and A Monster Calls, because they're both really good, first of all. And I'd been reading the past few months, but I didn't kind of have the bug, so it wasn't really a slump, but this kind of gave me the bug again, those two books, because they were phenomenal. Next up is School, a book that you had to read for school that you ended up loving. This is an easy one, The Book Thief, for sure, by Markus Zusak. I love that book, as most people do. I had to read it before my freshman year of high school, I want to say. Yeah, I read that for summer reading, and I absolutely adored it. Next is Falling in Love. It's an author you love so much that you want to read, like, all of their books. And I mean, I have a few auto-buy authors, as in like, as soon as they put out a book, I will buy it. But I mean, I think J.K. Rowling pretty much just kind of takes the cake. Even though I have yet to read any of her post-Harry Potter stuff, I have them, I just haven't gotten to them yet. But like, I will pretty much read anything that she writes. The next one is Fight, a book with the best action sequences. Maybe some of the A Song of Ice and Fire books? I don't really have anything that sticks out in my mind as having these phenomenal action sequences. I hear that there are good ones in Mistborn, but I haven't read that yet. Next is Breakup, a book or series you did not finish and you do not intend to finish. I have a couple. The Maze Runner trilogy, not really into finishing the books. I will see the other movies. It was the writing style that didn't click for me. So the Maze Runner series, or probably the Gone series, I read them a while back. Enjoyed the first couple. The third one was kind of slow for me, and then I just kind of lost interest entirely. Next up is Hanging with Friends, a book you think everyone should read. I'll have to go with Wonder. I was just talking to a former teacher of mine about this today, actually. My mom and I both rave about this book all the time. If you haven't read Wonder, it's just basically, it's a middle grade novel, but it's so emotional and phenomenal and just beautiful, and everyone should read it. Everyone should read it. The next one is Breakdown, a book that seriously affected you / had you crying your eyes out. Well, I'm kind of a notorious book crier, so it doesn't really take that much to get me to tear up, but like, as far as complete sobbing mess, like ugly crying, pretty much just The Book Thief and The Fault in Our Stars that come to mind. The next one is Road Trip, your favorite series that's longer than 3 books. So, Harry Potter, obviously. Next up is Flashback, so your favorite book from 5 years ago. That would be 2010, right? It's 2015, and so I would have been a sophomore in high school? Probably. I was really obsessed with, actually now that I think about it, What My Mother Doesn't Know by Sonia Stones. It's like all written in verse, and absolutely loved that book. I think just because the style was so different and it's like so #relatable. But yeah, I really loved that book, so I'll go with that one. Next is Getting Back Together. What book can you not stop rereading? I'm a pretty notorious rereader. Not as much now as I used to be. I used to just reread my favorites all the time. Obviously, I've reread Harry Potter a million times, but yeah, I don't know. Recently, I've been rereading the first Hunger Games a lot. I kind of just got into like a total Hunger Games phase, like into my Hunger Games phase all over again. Next is A Wedding, a book that is really special to you. Oh gosh, I mean, I have so many books that are really, really special to me. Again, obviously to go back to Harry Potter for the 1000th time. Every time I do a tag, I'm always like, I'm gonna try to vary my answers and not say Harry Potter for everything, and then it happens anyway. But yeah, besides my editions of Harry Potter, which are obviously very close to my heart, my edition of The Little Prince that my mom gave to me is very special to me, and one that's not really a regular book, like a novel, but that I've read the crap out of is when I was in right around like 5th grade, middle school, I was super obsessed with this video game, Paper Mario and the 1000-Year Door, and I had this game guide that came with it, or that I had for it, and I just reread that thing constantly. I like used that as a freaking Bible to play that game after I'd beaten it once. It's falling apart and tattered, and like, it's kind of silly, but that is kind of special to me too. That was a big part of my childhood, I guess. Next one is A Moment of Triumph, the longest book that you have ever read. That's an easy one. The Wise Man's Fear, for sure. It's like 1,000-something zillion pages. But the thing is, I don't know, I don't really get intimidated by big books. I get a lot of satisfaction out of finishing them, but I don't really feel like triumphant usually. The last time I felt super triumphant for finishing a long book, I actually remember this very distinctly. I don't know if any of you guys have read the Inkheart books by Cornelia Fung, but the first one, Inkheart, I think when I was in like 3rd grade or something, it was probably the longest book I'd read at that point ever, and I just remember being so freaking proud of myself when I reached the end of that book. It was probably a little bit too old for me when I was reading it, but yeah, that was probably the last time I felt super triumphant about finishing a book that's longer than I would usually read. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know, I love big books. I don't really get intimidated, so I just feel satisfied but not like triumphant. But anyway, next is a death scene, book or series that you wish had ended differently. A book I just read that was really, really good but really heartbreaking was Burnt Shadows. You know it's not the kind of book that's probably gonna have a happy ending, but then you're kind of hoping it'll at least kind of work out at the end, and then it just doesn't, and it just leaves you feeling very heartbroken. And so I kind of wish selfishly that it had ended differently, even though the whole book was just beautifully written and I knew it needed to happen, but like I do wish that it ended a little differently. So yeah, I'll go with the Burnt Shadows by, I think it's Camilla Shamsi. Second to last we have Funeral, which is a book with the best or worst epilogue. I don't really read a lot of books with epilogues, now that I'm thinking about it, that I can like remember off the top of my head. The only one that obviously really stands out to me is Harry Potter. I actually, you know what, I really love the epilogue of Harry Potter. I know a lot of people hate it, and there are certain things about it that I agree are kind of like eh, but there are a lot of things I really loved. I needed that closure. I really needed it. And finally we have the ending credits, which is just to tag some people, so I will do that. I will tag a couple people down below. I didn't really plan ahead, and I think that is just about it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been a tag video for the Soundtrack to My Life tag. Thank you again, Jenny, for tagging me. My name is Jackie, and I will see you guys on my next one. See ya.